going vegan for 1 hour. Crickets.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel.
We're laughing because we've spent about maybe 15 minutes trying to get the camera even on an uneven floor.
It's like the Titanic, isn't
I know,
it?
we can never work out if we're crooked or not. You probably think you've had a few drinks before watching us, that's why we're uneven.
Another mukbang eating show.
Yes.
Grab some food and eat with us.
Yes, today we have pretty much what we've been eating all the time.
We got some
Mixed vegetables?
yeah, morning glory it's called here. It could be swamp cabbage in the US, not 100% sure if that's exactly the same, but anyway, it's very good, high in iron. And broccoli, carrot.
There's some fresh cucumber, some brown rice.
Yeah, that's Thai Highland organic brown rice, very nice.
And some red bean hummus. Now I know you're going to ask for the recipe, so I just mashed this up with a fork. Sometimes we use peanut butter, but today we've used tahini, soy sauce for salt, lime juice and a vegan sweetener. That's it, just mix it all through. Tastes really good. And we've got some lime juice squeezed over the veggies as well.
Yep, I've got my second plate here.
But everybody freaks out over, but we obviously can't eat the same amount.
Exactly.
And he's a big guy, so.
That's it.
Now do you want to explain your croaky
No,
voice?
this happens every now and again. When I go out for a bike ride, sometimes you sort of get attacked by dogs. They come out very aggressively, teeth bared, gnarling and barking, you know, they're protecting their property, whatever. I'm just riding by, my God. I mean no harm, I'm vegan. But you have to get all alpha on them, otherwise they will actually come and, you know, sort of maybe bite you on the ankles, and it's dangerous when you're on a bicycle. So had to yell at one on the way out today and yell at a different one on the way back. So I've got
like
smoker's voice,
Yeah,
smoker's throat.
Sound like you've been at a rock concert screaming your lungs out.
I wish. What are you guys having? Let us know in the comments down below.
Yes.
And share with other people. Give them recipe ideas.
Yeah.
We're eating. Let's do it.
Mmm. Nice.
Mm.
Here's a tip. If you're mashing your hummus with a fork, do it as soon as your beans are cooked so they're nice and hot and soft, and it's a lot easier to mash.
Yeah.
You can let them cool down, it's a lot harder.
Yeah.
But most people would use a food processor, but we don't have one, so.
Yeah. Mm. That's good.
Yeah. Okay.
We've got a few stories, haven't we? That have come across the TVC news desk.
Yes, as usual, we've had a week of lots of things being sent to us, so
Let's get to them.
let's get started. The first one is Trent Williams.
He's an NFL linebacker for the Washington Redskins, and he has gone vegan, which is fantastic. Reminds us of when former NFL linebacker David Carter went vegan. Great to see. I think he's encouraging some of his teammates to look into a vegan diet as well.
He, it was after watching the film What the Health, of course.
Of course.
That's really great. And what does it say? Gave him a better understanding of the link between diet and disease. Good.
At the end there it says, but keeping up weight may be difficult for an offensive lineman. So there's a couple of things going on there. Think about it. The largest, biggest land-based animals, elephants, rhinoceroses, gorillas, horses, they're all eating plants. They don't have any trouble maintaining mass and size. So, you know, why should, what's his name? Trent either. David Carter certainly didn't have trouble maintaining size.
Needs to eat enough calories.
That's it, just eat a bigger volume, enough calories. And the other thing is there's an inference, isn't there, that animal products, you know, make you weigh more.
Bigger.
So if you're not an NFL linebacker and you want to slim down, then I guess you'd do the opposite and you'd eat plants, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's right. There you go. Great insights, Luca. All right, so that's a great news story to start off with. Next thing we were sent, this was very interesting, a reality television show in the US called Dance Moms. Now I need to say moms, or we say mums with Australians. So Dance Moms is a show that's very popular, and it's basically about this group of young girls who are dancers, and it follows their mothers.
They're up to season 7. This is episode 16 that we were sent an email about.
Yes, Abby flies the coop. Apparently Abby is going to prison. I don't know why, but there you go. That's the...
Anyway, the episode has had 670,000 views, so quite a number of people have seen it, and very impressionable young girls, I believe, is a large part of the audience.
And the reason we're talking about this episode is because Abby's boyfriend, or apparent boyfriend, whatever, is vegan. And he came on the show and he prepared a vegan song for the girls to perform to at their next dancing competition. Now this is so interesting because this is mainstream, you know, reality TV, and we just thought how fascinating that veganism is now being discussed just on mainstream reality TV, basically. Like you would never think that this would happen years ago.
Into everything, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting. No. So anyway, he rapped out his song, which wasn't necessarily a great song to be honest, but it was very...
It had a lot of heart.
It had a lot of heart.
Had a lot of meaning to the lyrics.
And a lot of truth, you know. He was putting out a lot of truth there about what happens to the animals, and heart disease is our #1 killer.
Dropping truth bombs.
Yeah.
Drop the mic, walk away.
Oh, God.
Sorry about that.
Prepare me. So what was fascinating was the reaction from of the mothers. Oh my God, the facial expressions were hilarious. So we're showing some here. They're like, WTF. They were not impressed at all. They were just like, this ain't happening. Their fear was that nobody would understand the dance routine. You know, what's the point of it? What's the message? What is this about? And that basically their kids would look stupid and they would lose the competition, blah, blah, blah.
And he had a conversation with some of the mums, didn't he?
Yeah.
It got a bit heated.
It did. Oh, just about. So at the end of him rapping out his song, one of them asked, so what do you think of people who still eat meat? And then it went from there, and it did get heated. And what came out was he asked, well, you know, do you think you can still love animals and eat them? And of course the answer was yes. And so then it just kind of blew up from there. So again, very fantastic, is that? Very good, excellent, fantastic, interesting that this is being discussed on mainstream TV. I just think it's great that it's being put in people's homes. They wouldn't expect to see this on...
Not at all.
What is it? Dance Mums.
I mean, he was talking about speciesism.
He was.
Speciesism on mainstream TV.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, okay, what happened? The girls, they weren't really too impressed with the whole theme anyway, but they didn't seem as freaked out about it as the mums did. The performance was lovely. It was a contemporary style dance.
They sort of had like cow print faces.
Yeah,
type
their
thing.
makeup was kind of more animal
oriented.
I just threw some
Throwing
beans, spinning and throwing stuff everywhere. I'll take a bite.
Yes, please. And anyway,
So the routine was really nice.
Yeah. And they ended up.
They won.
They
won the competition. So the mums were all happy then. We got to the end and they're like, yeah, see, this was really good. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, as the girls were leaving, walking up the stage, one of the mums turned around to the audience behind them and she said, what do you guys think that was about? Because that, again, was the mum's fear that
They wouldn't know what the dance routine was about.
And the person in the audience said, it's about vegans. And we're like, of course it's about vegans. Why do you think people are that stupid that they can't follow the simple lyrics talking about animals and disease and hardship? Of course it's about vegans. And the person who said that in the audience, there were young girls that looked like they may have been also part of the dance competition. So that was really good to see, and the mums were all shocked that people actually understood it. Yeah, and that's that.
That's that story.
Now you've been stuffing your face, you can do the next one.
I will.
Tag team.
All right. Next news piece that came across our desk, a Instagram account called Black Jaguar, White Tiger.
Well, they have 6.4 million followers on Instagram, so they're very big
huge audience. So it's basically this guy Eduardo who rescues big cats from cruel circumstances like circuses and I'm not sure zoos, but from cruel circumstances, people who keep them at home as pets.
Yeah, legal and illegal breeding.
Yeah.
So he's really passionate about animals
He is.
and big cats, obviously in particular.
Yeah.
There's a post here on his website where...
Well, he says, all kinds of different people have spent time at the foundation in the past year or so. However, Eduardo has made a conscious decision to also welcome people to the foundation who are meat eaters and who wear animal products, just like Eduardo did before he started the foundation. So after reading that, you're left thinking, okay, Eduardo is meat-free, at least. However, the Instagram post that was sent to us contradicts that, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, he posted this, which says, I feel like shit when I eat meat, but being vegan honestly messes up my life.
So he does eat meat.
Yeah.
So it's not true, that statement on the website.
That's why I love vegan people, but hate the vegan police.
Now, there is no such thing as the vegan police. There are just vegans, and some who are quiet and don't say anything to non-vegans, and others who speak up and actually say things and, you know, point out the hypocrisy of some non-vegans, or particularly those like Eduardo, who profess to love animals so much, but then pay people to slit their throats.
Yeah. So
Eduardo is just trying to appeal to his predominantly non-vegan audience.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, everyone's had a run-in with the vegan police, haven't they? Come and comfort me in the comments section and tell me that, yes, those vegan police are terrible. Only the quiet ones are the ones that I like, you know.
I think he's feeling guilty.
He
now,
is.
what he says, I've been vegan on 4 different occasions, and the longest one for 13 months. Okay, so he's given it a go. He's made a deep connection, right? He kind of gets it.
Yeah, he loves animals.
Every time that I eat vegetables, my stomach gets super messy, and I stopped being a vegan, not because I crave meat, but because of my stomach. Okay, so he's given the reason why, but you kind of got to look into this a little bit more, because a lot of people have digestive problems, especially when they're coming from a standard Western diet of animal products and try and go vegan. So he's not a unique case. A lot of people experience this.
Yeah, and a lot of the reason for that is some of the gut bacteria that is required to digest animal products is different to that's required to digest plants.
Yeah.
And so if you've been eating a standard Western diet of high animal products and processed foods and, you know, very few plant foods, and then you transition to, you know, a plant-based diet, there's going to be an adjustment period while your gut repopulates the, you know, bacteria required to break down and digest the plant foods.
Yeah, and Dr. Garth Davis actually made a great video on his Facebook page about this, how to transition to a vegan diet and avoid those kind of digestive problems and gas and bloating and all the things that a lot of people experience.
Yeah.
And he's like, look, you know, you don't go from eating meat, dairy and eggs to a big bowl of beans and greens. You know, that's going to really stuff you up.
Yeah,
You've got to transition.
That's right. Even us,
Yeah.
we couldn't eat beans cooked from dry, or couldn't digest them very well without discomfort initially in our vegan journey, and then we gradually, over time, first we started with cooked beans in a can, and then because of the discomfort we were experiencing with cooking them from dry, but then over time, as we increased the quantity, we were then able to eat more beans and cook them from dry again and digest them without any problem. Now we have 2.5 dry cups of beans between us every day. So
it changes over time.
It does.
And this is the thing that I don't understand. So if he has problems digesting vegetables, one would assume that currently he's not eating vegetables either, or very small amount of vegetables with his meat diet. So why can't he go vegan and still eat, minimal number of vegetables? Basically, continue the way he's eating now in regards to vegetables, but just replace all the animal products with vegan alternatives. What's the difference? You know?
Yeah, because the vegan alternatives, they might be originally made from plants, but they're not the vegetables in their whole forms.
It's
They've
totally
been
different.
Processed to look like the animal products.
Yeah. So there are so many different ways to eat vegan. You don't necessarily have to have a diet very high in vegetables to be vegan.
No. And I was also thinking there's a number of other things that can affect digestion. I think Dr. Garth Davis talks about using a probiotic perhaps to help repopulate the good bacteria in the gut that'll help you break down the plant foods.
Yeah.
But probiotics can also work in the opposite and have the opposite effect, depending on the type of probiotic. I remember when we used to take probiotics, when we had bad digestion. So bloated. So it actually made our digestion worse.
Yeah.
So some people drink kombucha. It's quite a popular drink, and that can potentially hamper digestion. Other fermented products can do the same. So, you know.
There could be a lot more going on here.
Yeah.
So, you know, our response to this post from Eduardo would be to really, you need to look into it further and get some help. Have you seen a vegan dietitian? You know, someone to look at your diet and tell you, you know, what you can do. And you're not alone. A lot of people experience this, but it's not an excuse to take someone's life. You know, you've got to figure it out. So we all do. We've all been there. And he clearly loves animals. But all right, next story. We were sent KADY McDERMOTT. Now,
she was a contestant in 2016 on a UK reality TV show called Love Island. That's how she's become famous. She has almost 1 million followers on Instagram and about 320,000 followers on Twitter.
Okay, confession time. I am banned from deleting anything off our phone. Okay, I'm really, really sorry. We recorded her entire Snapchat.
Which we got tipped off about by somebody.
She had a Snapchat vegan rant episode not too long ago. We recorded it. I deleted it by accident, so we can't respond to it perfectly.
But we can fill you in, don't worry.
All right, so basically there's been a whole heap of stuff going on with KADY regarding animals that kind of led to this Snapchat rant. And one of them is she volunteers or works for an animal charity in Morocco where they rescue street dogs and street cats and just animals in need that need care. And it's like a shelter, animal welfare shelter. And she loves that work. She was promoting that work. So she obviously...
Again, like Eduardo, loves animals.
Right? And she did receive a bit of, you know, backlash, or basically just vegans asking, so that's great. Yeah. Do you still eat animals though? And is that backlash, or is that just an honest question?
It's
getting
pointing
people
out
to
the
think
obvious
about
hypocrisy.
Hypocrisy, yeah. Okay, so that was one thing.
But it's interpreted as backlash and vegan policing because it makes the person feel uncomfortable about their bad actions.
Yeah. So then she bought a dog, a designer dog.
And again, people are saying, why didn't you adopt a dog from a shelter? You know, I mean, you volunteer for an organisation that rescues dogs and has big shelters and what have you. Why didn't you, you know, adopt? Why did you buy from a breeder?
And her response is basically it was more convenient because dogs from shelters need more work and they're just take a bit more, you know, time to care for, and they're a bit more needy. And she wanted a dog that wasn't from a shelter, so it was more laid back and easy for her to take on shoots or leave at home.
That's not a morally justifiable reason to support a cruel industry like the dog breeding industry, instead of adopting, you know, an animal in need from a shelter. But then it goes further, doesn't it? She posts on Twitter that people can collab with her for £1,000 a post to be, you know, featured with the dog. That's certainly the way we've
interpreted
I don't know if she means... Tell us if she means something different or if she was joking. But that would be pretty bad. Supporting the cruel dog breeding industry with $1 and then profiteering from that? Wow. Maybe we've misinterpreted.
Maybe. One person left a comment, if you love animals so much, why do you sell and use, she means mink, lashes? Good question.
We've got a video on that, haven't we?
We do.
We'll link it in the description below. Definitely check that out.
Okay, so finally, KADY posted on her Twitter, there was a story going around, a woman in the UK was on a train and she had her little dog with her. The woman was clearly unwell, either mental illness or possibly even on drugs.
Yep.
She was hitting the dog and she was actually biting the dog's tail. The dog was very distressed. It was an awful video and she ended up being, actually people intervened, which is what you do when you love animals, right? And then she was escorted off the train.
And that's the thing, just on that point very quickly, if someone saw any animal, be it a pig, a chicken, a cow, the type of animals that we consider food animals in the West, if a person was, you know, being physically violent towards that animal, people would intervene. And yet, when we pay other people to slit the throats of these animals and chop up their bodies into, you know, neat packages that we pick up from the supermarket, no one bats an eyelid.
No, and we justify it because my digestion, or my convenience, or my taste, or my culture, etc.
And if we say anything about it, we're vegan policing.
No.
No.
I'm just pointing out the obvious. Okay. So KADY posted about this story,
And she
was
said-
really upset about it, you know, sick, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm. And then a vegan
How
simply...
can people harm defenseless animals?
Exactly.
And the
A vegan posts the question, agreed. So you're vegan, right?
perfect question to ask.
Yeah.
There's nothing
That's
wrong
not,
with
that's
that.
not vegan policing, that's it's pointing out the obvious.
And it blew up from there, and you know, she just got really upset on Twitter, blah, blah, blah. Went on from there.
And this is because people point out people's hypocrisy,
Yeah.
and it exposes the cognitive dissonance, and it
Yes.
creates a very uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah.
And the typical reaction from a non-vegan is to lash out,
Yeah.
isn't it? And that's what
So-
she did with her rant on Snapchat.
On Snapchat. So there were a number of things that she raised, and we'll just respond to them quickly. The first thing she said was, being vegan is a personal choice. A lot of people say this, and a lot of people don't understand that
And therefore being non-vegan is a personal choice as well.
something stops being your personal choice when it involves the life of another. Okay, so my personal choice to wear my, you know, an orange shirt or a purple shirt, that's a personal choice. How I style my hair, personal choice. Those kind of things don't affect anybody else's life.
If you choose to drink alcohol, that's a personal choice. But if you choose to drink alcohol, get drunk, and sit behind the wheel of a car and drive your car and endanger other people's lives, is that a personal choice?
No.
No, because you're potentially endangering the lives of others. Well, that's exactly what living a non-vegan lifestyle is doing. You are directly affecting the lives of others in a very negative way.
Yeah.
You're paying people to slit their throats.
And not to mention, you know, it's affecting the environment on the planet that we all live on.
Exactly.
So
It affects the air quality, the water quality that we all depend on,
Yeah.
the soil quality.
everything. So it's not a personal choice unless you live on your own planet, and even then, if you're still killing somebody else, it's still not your personal choice. Okay, vegans shouldn't make people feel bad. You can't make somebody feel bad if what they're doing is the right thing to do. You know, people only feel bad because their conscience knows that it's wrong. Okay, if you think that there's nothing wrong with eating animals, then how can someone make you feel bad about it?
Exactly. Great.
Simple.
I respect vegans, so they should respect my actions. It's not a two-way street, respect in this context. You know, if I beat your little designer dog, KADY, would you respect me? No, you wouldn't. So why should I respect you for paying people to slit the throats of innocent baby animals?
Yeah.
That's-
Just like she didn't respect the woman on the tram that was hitting and biting her dog.
You're
She can't
actually,
expect vegans to respect her choice to pay for meat, dairy, and eggs, which
Yeah.
is equally as violent. In fact, it's the biggest violence on the planet.
it is.
You know, what's the number? 150 billion animals slaughtered every year for food alone. So there's nothing to respect about paying other people to slaughter animals for your convenience and taste.
Yeah, because taste doesn't, you know, that's no morally justifiable reason to take someone's life who wants to live. Convenience isn't either, because we've always done it and because everyone's doing it. They're not morally justifiable reasons either.
No.
There is no morally justifiable reason. You don't need it for health.
Exactly. All right. She says, I'm volunteering for an animal charity, so I do love animals, and yes, I can still eat them. And this is where the cognitive dissonance just really kicks in. That's like saying, you know, my husband loves me, but he also beats me. You can't love someone and also hurt them, you know.
Yeah. It's exactly. It's like
That's what it
it's
is.
oxymoronic, just like humane slaughter. How can you humanely slaughter someone who wants to live? I mean, it's oxymoronic. They don't.
It doesn't work. And, you know, she's doing great work for the animal charity. That's fantastic. But that good deed doesn't cancel out the bad deed of still eating animals.
Which is what she's claiming that it should do.
Yeah.
And she's also donates to the RSPCA. Now they are the most hypocritical animal-related organisation on the face of the planet. They have fundraisers, barbecue fundraisers, where they are frying up the, you know, dismembered body parts of tortured animals to raise money for certain selected other animals that we like to favour in the West, like the cats and the dogs. Yeah.
It's annoying. It's very frustrating. But I understand her. We used to love animals. And we used to go to the zoo and eat hot dogs in the park.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. But once you know better, you got to do better. And as we always say, you know, it's 2017. KADY knows better. She lives her life on social media.
Yeah.
She's got vegans commenting on her posts. You know, everybody knows of the documentary films What the Health and Cowspiracy on Netflix, readily available.
It's time to educate, to vegicate.
Yeah. Earthlings is now free. The 10th anniversary edition of Earthlings is free on the Earthlings website at the moment.
Yeah. All right, so the last thing, a major thing that she raised on her Snapchat rant was, I was raised a meat eater, so it would be hard for me to be vegan. And this one always makes us laugh because it sort of sounds like people think vegans come from Planet Vegan, where we're raised by sunflowers for parents or something. All vegans, you know, ate animals at some point. I think we only know one person who's been vegan from birth.
Two, because I believe her brother's younger.
Two people that were vegan from birth.
And we've been vegan 6 years, and
Everyone is raised the same way, KADY. Everybody eats animals. We don't stop doing it. We don't stop eating animals because we don't like the taste anymore. We just get the education and make the connection and realize that it's morally the wrong thing to do, and we don't need to do it. So it's no harder for KADY to go vegan than anybody else in the world. We're all raised exactly the same culture.
That's it.
We're eating animals. We're all taught is natural, normal, and necessary. So that's our response to KADY. It's funny because I think people like her that work for animal charities are so close to being vegan, you know?
Like Eduardo.
Yeah,
And it also reminded us of Rebecca Black, the singer of that song Friday, that we made a video on last year.
We did. There was another one at the same time. I think GIGI, HADID, the model.
Oh, yes.
She was raising money for elephants or something. Whilst
eating burgers.
In-and-out burger model.
Yeah. So people
it happens.
have to align their values with their actions. If you claim to love animals, then you have to not harm animals. You have to not pay people to slit animals' throats. You can't claim that you love animals if you do that. So align your actions, your values with your actions, and the only way to do that is to live vegan. You have to be morally consistent. You can't apply morals to certain species of animals but not to others. That's being morally inconsistent. And if you be morally inconsistent, you're going to feel bad every time a vegan points out your hypocrisy.
Yeah, that's not trying to make you feel bad, that's just pointing out the truth. Okay? Okay. Last story.
There's one more.
There's one more. Surprise! Okay. A YouTube channel called Jacksfilms with 3.1 million subscribers decided to live stream his experiment of going vegan for 1 hour. Crickets?
We've got cicadas, but they're behaving themselves today, aren't they?
They are.
You should have come on cue.
That would have been funny.
Yeah.
So this was super ridiculous. The guy starts out shoving a burger and a milkshake in his mouth for the first 10 minutes before the hour begins, the hour of torture.
Finishes that and then has another burger sitting in front of him, which he then eyes off for the next hour and, you know, makes out, oh my God,
Those are all the usual jokes, you know. I'm feeling so sick, I've got a vegan migraine.
I better eat some ice.
Yeah, that's right. He doesn't know what to eat, so he chews on ice.
Tries to eat an apple, but he's
apparently repulsed by the smell of an apple. I tell you what, I'd love to take this guy to a slaughterhouse where his hamburger came from. You can smell that. Maybe that smells better than an apple.
Yeah.
You know.
Or to somewhere where they spray the pig feces from huge massive hoses all over the fields, and the smell travels in the air, and just
filth. Then his next solution is to eat toothpaste, because surely that's what vegans eat, toothpaste, right? Anyway, so I know it's supposed to be comedy, but it really wasn't funny. It was just totally stupid. At the end of it, he does this big celebration, made it 3, 2, 1, yo, and then he shoves the burger in his mouth.
One of the comments that stood out was somebody saying, came here expecting to see, you know, a whole heap of vegans ranting in the comments, and instead found meat eaters, a whole heap of comments from meat eaters, bagging on vegans. So, because it was ridiculous.
It was stupid. It just wasn't even worth anyone's time.
No.
But you know what we were thinking though? it was so ridiculous that it made this guy look really stupid.
Yeah.
It's like, it wasn't even funny.
No.
Because sometimes people do things and you're like, all right, I'll pay that even as a vegan. I'll have a little laugh there. This was just ridiculous. So, I don't know, if I was kind of watching it go, it's not even really that funny. I think you make yourself look pretty silly.
Yep.
And that's it. Nothing more to say on that.
That's our wrap up, guys. If you came across any of these stories yourselves, leave your comments down below about what you thought about them, even if you didn't come across them, and what are your thoughts on what we've spoken about today? Tries to spit out as it's got a mouthful of food.
I'm going to finish the rest of our
Yep, I'm on to plate
lunch.
2.
Off camera. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope you have enjoyed your meal. Don't forget to, definitely leave us a comment also about what you're eating.
Yes.
I want to hear about that.
Like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.
And please ding the bell and check the box to make sure you receive notifications every time we upload a new video.
And remember, until next time, going vegan, it's not the most we can do.
It's the least we can do, especially if we say we love animals. See you next video.
Bye, guys.